It is yet another day to give thanks to the Lord, to God the Almighty. And this is again through the Bible with Mukhwana Isaac. Do like, comment, share, and subscribe. I am Mukhwana Isaac, and I welcome you once again to this episode. And the theme is break the cycle. And here we shall see turning repeated weakness into spiritual growth. Yes, one of the most frustrating experiences in the spiritual life is repeating the same weakness again and again. Yeah, you promise to change, you try sincerely, but somehow you fall back into the same habit. Talk of anger, distraction in prayer, inconsistency, talk of procrastination, negative speech, lumber mongering, Every now and then you promise this, but it happens, it gets back, you know. Lent is not only about identifying sin, it is about breaking cycles. Today's practical theme invites us to stop managing weaknesses and start confronting them intentionally. Many repeated struggles continue because we treat the symptoms instead of the roots. For example, impatience may be rooted in pride, talk of distraction may be rooted in lack of discipline, and resentment may be rooted in unresolved heart. Yeah. Instead of simply saying, I will try harder, Lent challenges us to ask, why does, this keep happening? Growth begins when we trace behavior back to belief and attitude. And so when we get the root, or when the root is addressed, the pattern weakens. A practical step is to choose one rescuing weakness, that thing that is recurring, and focus on it deliberately this very week. Not 10, just one. Pray specifically about it. Set clear boundaries around it. Replace it with a positive action. And if it is negative speech, intentionally speak encouragement. Let someone hear you speak words of encouragement. One time you're with the group, you are in a community. Let people hear something very constructive, positive coming from you, and they will wonder. And of course, as you do that, inside you just know, I am doing something. So if it is waste of time, schedule structured prayer or study. If it is impatience, practice deliberate silence before responding. Spiritual change becomes realistic when it is focused and consistent. Breaking cycles requires practice. Transformation rarely happens instantly, but progress happens gradually. So, do not be discouraged, my dear listener, my dear esteemed brother, listener, my dear esteemed viewer, by slow improvement. Do not be discouraged. Lent is a training season. Yes, not a perfection context. It's not actually a contest. It's not a contest. Each small victory strengthens your discipline and deepens your awareness. When you face repeated weakness with clarity and persistence, it stops being a cycle and becomes a classroom. One produces maturity and stronger faith. That is all about today's episode. And thank you for having a journey through the Bible. Mukhwana Isaac, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Be blessed.